to you live from my vehicle. It's just easy to make a video on my phone because I'm in the car where I'm alone.
At the next light, turn left.
I'm in the car where I'm alone, and it's honestly when I have my most time and space to think about things and to like actually review things and like come up with new ideas. Also, it feels like a very safe space because nobody is here to listen to me or judge me, and anywhere else out in the open or even at home when I'm by myself, I still feel like there are people listening, and it just makes me a little uneasy. So yeah, here we have
light, turn left onto North Kentucky Avenue.
Here we have me in my car talking about math and stuff because this just happens to be the best way for me to do it. And hey, when you find how to do something great, I hope it's great for you. What? So yeah, I mean, it's just the best way for me to do it, and maybe you think otherwise, and that's okay. You're allowed to have your thoughts and opinions, but for me, this is it. Now, okay, what I really wanted to do was make a video for my fractal dimension hypothesis. So it's just an hypothesis. So it's just
At the light, turn left onto State Road 472 West.
It's just a hypothesis, obviously, because it could never really be tested. So it will never be a theory, even though sometimes I may like to use the word theory. I understand that you can't test this. There's no way. It's just a hypothesis, and it's something I've thought about a lot. And you know, I really don't know how these thoughts come to me. They just kind of do. It's like when I learn about new concepts, I immediately try and relate it to, well, how could this define my reality? Because I think that's the sole purpose of my life, is to try and define the world around me. Maybe it just makes me feel more comfortable or feel like I have a grasp on things if I can relate the world around me to what I know is real and works. And a lot of math and physics is proven, it's real and it works. And some things are theories, but some things are law and they're true. So I guess what I'm trying to do is create laws for myself to believe in that kind of help me understand what's going on around me better in such a way that I can accept it and move forward. So I am just fascinated by the Mandelbrot set. I absolutely love the equation. I love the fractal, the way it has this bulbous shape that kind of even looks like the Buddha in certain lights. I love the way that there's what's his name, Veritasium has this video about how there's an equation that models population that is also tied into the Mandelbrot set, and it's just chef's kiss, beautiful equation, amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorites, so much so that you may think this is silly, but I have a tattoo of the Mandelbrot set equation on my arm. Let me see, how could I show you? Right. So
at the light, use the right lane to merge onto I-4 West.
All right, you're gonna have to be quiet, Siri. I love complex numbers. I love math. I love fractals, and it became a source of material. It became source material for my allegories on life, and the theory hypothesis that I came up with regarding fractals. Okay, so we have to shed a little bit of background information, some context about fractals and dimensions before I can dive into exactly what my hypothesis is. So, in regards to dimensionality, we know a few dimensions, right? 0 dimension is just a point. The first dimension is a line extending in either direction. The second dimension is a plane that expands not only left and right, but now up and down. And then when you hit the third dimension, you're adding another perpendicular axis for things, for which things to expand on, right? So you got a point, a line, a plane, or a flat shape like a circle or a square, and then a 3D shape, which would be like a sphere or a cube, right? So to our best understanding, we are three-dimensional creatures. We live in a three-dimensional world. We experience three spatial dimensions. We go up, down, left, back, right, front. Is that right? We experience three spatial dimensions being up, down, left, right, sideways? I don't know. How do you explain the third one? Diagonal? There's three perpendicular dimensions. If you're thinking about this mathematically, you have an x, y, z plane. Whereas, like normally on a graph that's on a flat piece of paper, you just have an x and y plane. 3 dimensions, you're adding that z plane. Now, if you were to move up to 4th dimension, you would have to add a 4th perpendicular dimension. And we just can't comprehend that. There is no space for that on any graph that we can comprehend. We got the first 3 down, but after that, it's like, where does it go? Where would it fit? And some people think that time is the 4th dimension. Maybe. But if we're thinking about things from a purely mathematical way, adding a 4th dimension would mean adding a 4th spatial perpendicular plane to which we just cannot experience. So that's great. That's great that we can define these dimensions in a way we can understand. Now, fractals, however, and here's the thing about fractals. There are different kinds of fractals. There's like the Sierpinski triangle, for example, which is a self-similar fractal, which means you could make it as big or as small as you like. You zoom in on it, it's self-similar at all shapes and sizes. Well, I guess it's the same shape, just different sizes. It's self-similar, meaning that, you know, you have the triangle within a triangle within a triangle within a triangle within a triangle, and that just goes on forever. And it does have a fractal dimension. And when I say fractal dimension, what I mean is a non-integer dimension. So like the dimensions we're familiar with are like 1, 2, and 3, 4. I mean, we're aware of other dimensions like 10, 11, or 12, you know, in physics and math. But a fractal dimension is a non-integer, like 1.5, or 2.5, or 3.1. So essentially, a fractal dimension is a non-integer dimension. Oop, I went in the wrong way. That's fine. Oh, I get a little kick back too. Okay, I'm gonna order Starbucks, hold on.